Be sure to order your copy of the Go-Go Offense by Coach Brennan Marion on footballgameplan.com/GoGoOffense. Coach Marion goes through the ins and outs of his explosive offense, one that's tearing up the college football field and putting a lot of points on the scoreboard. Again, you can order your copy at footballgameplan.com/GoGoOffense. Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you another edition of 4 Downs with the Czar here at MetLife Stadium, where the New York Giants played host to the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings came away with the dub by the score of 28-10. Now, here are some quick takeaways from this ball game, starting with first down, the Giants offense. I love how they were able to challenge the Vikings secondary deep down the field. Normally, teams stay away from these cornerbacks of the Minnesota Vikings. You're talking about Mike Hughes, Xavier Rhodes, Trey Waynes. They try to attack short, but the Giants came out and went deep down the field, was not afraid of the one-on-one coverage, and took some shots deep down the field with their Golden Tate returning, with a guy like Sterling Shepard, and also with Darius Slayton, who caught a touchdown on the far end of the field right there. Another deep shot by Daniel Jones. Now, they missed some opportunities, but the fact that they were able to challenge deep down the field, to me, was the biggest takeaway. And I talked to Daniel Jones afterwards, and he spoke about how they were going to be aggressive from here on out. Most people try to shy away from these Vikings corners, but you guys were aggressive. What were your thoughts on coming into this ball game, trying to be aggressive and show them that, hey, we can throw deep against you guys?
I think we have a lot of confidence in our guys, our receivers. I think up against anyone, I think we match up well. So like I said, we had the opportunities, we had the chances, and I got to do a better job making sure we convert those chances. But we're going to be aggressive, and we're going to, with every game we play, we're going to stay aggressive.
Moving on to second down, going to the Vikings side of the ball, their offense. This was one of the more efficient days we've seen from the Minnesota Vikings as far as running the football and throwing the football. The running game was excellent with Dalvin Cook, who had a lot of big plays on the ground and also in the passing game. When you talk about the passing game, it was mainly boots and waggles. The Minnesota Vikings did a great job of taking advantage of an injury-plagued second level of the New York Giants. When I asked Coach Shermer about the linebackers not being able to cover those boots and waggles and the challenge that presents itself, here's what he had to say. How difficult is it to cover those boots and waggles when you are new at linebacker, so to speak? You have two new guys.
Yeah, that's when you add the new at linebacker, that's making excuses for the fact that we got to do a better job, and everybody on defense. And then when we have opportunities to score on offense, we got to take advantage of it.
Continuing with the Vikings offense, this wasn't a turnover-filled day for Minnesota. I like what Kirk Cousins was able to do in the passing game. If it wasn't deep, he didn't force it. If it wasn't short, he was able to throw it away. He took some sacks, but he didn't turn the ball over. I thought that was big for Kirk Cousins in this offense. He was able to get Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, all those guys were involved in the passing game. Now, moving on to third down, Giants defense. This was an injury-plagued group at the second level, and it showed. The linebackers could not communicate on those crossing routes. They left a lot of open space for those receivers to do work. In the secondary, I thought they did well deep down the field. Once again, you saw a couple of covered sacks. DeAndre Baker did a good job this game. You also saw Jabril Peppers show his worth once again, making key stops and also forcing turnovers in the running game. But I thought he did a really good job. This is one of the better acquisitions for the New York Giants. Jabril Peppers is really paying off. So those were some of the takeaways from the Giants. They were able to affect the pocket a little bit, but it was a short to intermediate passing game, and the running game is where they had their issues. Fourth down, Vikings defense. Here's what I thought initially. Pressure group, all three levels. D-line kept Daniel Jones under duress. Linebackers were able to be active and close on the football really well, taking away the short stuff for Daniel Jones. And in the secondary, despite giving up some big plays, they still were able to clamp down in certain situations and get off the field. So it was a complete team effort defensively. You saw a lot of athleticism from the second and third levels. And up front, those guys really gave that Giants offensive line some fits, more in particular on the left side. Really frustrated what Nate Solder was trying to do in pass pro, and they had their way with that offensive line as far as rushing the passer is concerned. And because Wayne Gallman went out with an injury, they really could pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. It was play the run on the way to the quarterback, and that, to me, led the Vikings to a victory today. If I had to give a game ball for the Giants on either side of the ball, it would be Jabril Peppers. Just love the way he plays. He brings a lot of athleticism, a lot of versatility to the second level. He had another big day here at MetLife. And for the Vikings, Dalvin Cook, big time running back. You saw his vision on display, his home run hitting speed, and also his dual threat capability in the receiving game and the passing game. So Dalvin Cook for the Vikings and Jabril Peppers for the New York Giants get game balls from me today. So that's a wrap here from MetLife Stadium. I'm Emory Hunt, the Czar, the Playbook. Be sure to follow me on all of my social media accounts, and don't forget to check out and subscribe to the Football Game Plan Network, located at youtube.com/Football Game Plan. Subscribe on iTunes to Football Game Plan Podcast, where you can hear our NFL All 32 podcast, and Friday or Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the Game Plus Network. You can check out our NFL 32 football show. Again, check your cable provider for channel listings.